All right, so we're going to try this again. Showed you how to scale a log and what was going on, and for some reason my camera failed. So we're going to try it again. I deleted all my junk and restarted my phone, and hopefully everything works out. So in our ongoing effort to make this Stelicut band fail and see how many board feet we can get out of it, I've got a pretty big log up here on the mill, and this customer's coming to pick up all of his product on Sunday. Today is Friday. And I want to make sure that I give him a good chunk. So we're going to mill this log. This log here is almost 15 feet long. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to scale out the log to figure out how much board feet you're going to get out of it. So if we go over, I think I got a B on my phone. Hold on one second. Oh, yep, he's leaving. So to scale a log, you either need to do math or you need to use what's called a lumber scale. This is a lumber scale. I'll show you when we get over here. Danny? Oh, I see you, bud. So this is a lumber scale. This is a Doyle scale. So it uses the Doyle lumber scale arithmetic. And basically it has two parts. It's got two parts. It uses two parts to calculate the board footage in a log. It has a inches around, and you can actually just hook this on the log and it will tell you how big it is. And then it has how many feet the log is. I'll show you up close. So it has how many feet the log is. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Then how big around it is, and then it gives you, if you go to the corresponding length, it gives you a board footage total. Now we're going to be working with this total and this total here. So this log, if I tell it that it's 14 feet long, I got this measured inside the bark at 14 inches. This one's going to tell me it's 15. It's going to tell me that I get 106 board feet out of this. At 14 inside the bark, it would tell me 88. So if you watch me do this, you basically have your 14 foot long, you hook it on the log, you see where you are lengthwise, and then you project your 14 feet across, and it's telling me 106 board feet. Let me show you how you do it with math. There's a little bit of a discrepancy, but not too much, because I think this Doyle scale takes into consideration the saw kerf, how much you're going to lose in kerf. And we're going to see which comes out better. Now in the math side, just pretty simple. You take, hopefully you guys are going to be able to see this because I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Better now. 14 inches around at 70% is 9.8 inches. So that's approximately what size cant I'm going to get, around a 10-inch cant. If I take the 9.8, multiply it by 9.8, which is a square, 9.8 by 9.8, times the length in inches, 168, and then divide, that looks like a minus, divide by 144, that's how you get to board feet, you come up with 112. So this method here by math is telling me I'm going to get around 112 board feet at 14 feet long. So I should produce a cant that is 9.8, so almost 10 inches by 10 inches, and I should get around 112 board feet. That is going to be closer to the truth because I'm going to get probably some bonus material out of the flitches. There is a little bit of crook in this log, and I'm going to do a little bit of debarking here. This thing was just, I was just doing this when my camera died the previous time, and it was oozing out sap out of here. The sap was just pouring out of this tree, out of this log. Now, what I found with debarking is that if I can't do it, I can't do it. So If the bark is coming right off like it is right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep taking it. If it stops, then I'm just not going to go any further, and the band is going to get what the band is going to get. So it's kind of firming up here. I kind of got most of the loose bark off. One thing that debarking does is it makes it a lot easier to turn the log. I'm doing this with just a regular, what I call it a bark spud, but it's more like a ice chipping edging tool from the hardware store. If you guys watch My Dream in the Woods, he really goes to town on his debarking, like spends hours doing it to save his bands. Now, I can understand that, but at some point, this is really going to cut down on my production. So, a bunch of little bugs in the bark here. So, I think I'm just not going to go any further. It's just getting hard. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mill this log. I've kind of got it dogged down. I'm going to strap a tape measure on my tool belt here. I should end up with 1x10s out of this. And we are going to run this Stelicut band to the point where it just won't cut flat anymore. And then we're going to look at how much board feet, and we'll be able to calculate how worth it is, because we've only cut softwood with this band, and fairly clean softwood. So we're going to take a top cut on this thing. It's going to end up being somewhere around 16 inches here. That's going to be off the log here. It's going to be like 14 here. So I'll probably take, it dips off there. I'm probably just going to take it at 14. We'll fire up the mill. We'll run a pine sol water and a little bit of Dawn, but I did just dump a whole bunch of water in here, just straight water. So we're going to take this thing off at 14 and start our process there. We're going to see how many board feet we get out of this thing. Oh, I'm still clamped down. This is the only log that I'm going to mill today. Basically, it's going to gain me another $100 or so on Sunday when he comes to get them. So we're going to try it right there. Let's just see how it cuts. Make sure we got water, It's going to get thick in the middle here, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'm slowing down a little bit because of it. And then it's going to get thin out of the other end. So it almost took nothing at both ends. I'm going to let the blade stop so I can grab this switch off here. On this slap cut off here. It almost took nothing at the two ends. And it got kind of thick in the middle. I think what we'll do is that I think we'll just go ahead and flip it over now. It's going to be heavy. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over now and cut from the other side. Got a lot of bark under here now. We'll cut the horns off it, see if we're going to get a 10-inch cant. And I always take, I think I'll end up with a 10-inch cant sideways, maybe not up and down. Okay. I don't think I'll need that. I think I can just manhandle this around. How high is that dog? Okay, I'm at 8, so I don't want to go below. No, I don't want to go really below 10. Probably just going to go ahead and fix that right now. It's just going to help ease my mind if I take this one down a little bit. This one's down at just above 4. Let's just get them down to that. That 4 is kind of the magic number on logs this size. You can still roll them, they won't come off, and it holds them. It's about middle of a log. Okay. Just going to go ahead and dog it right here in the middle. And we're going to take the top off it. It looks like my top cut is going to be 11, might be a little conservative. We might try that. Let's just see where that ends up. So let's see where that 11 is. It's not horrible. It's going to give me like crappy ending, so I'm going to cut it there. All I'm doing now is cutting the horns off it, so to speak. Should have worn some gloves and getting sap all over me. There's some sort of weird bore cut from a chainsaw in this thing, of course. I'm going to have to take another inch off it, so I'm at 11. I'll come down to 9 7/8 and take a switch off. I don't know that that's going to be much good. But I can't have it this way either. It gets really thin here. It's nice and big and wide on the ends, except for that chainsaw bore cut there. It's almost a couple pieces in here and a couple boards in there. I think I'll just go ahead and come down 9 7/8. So we'll get this flitch off. I'm gonna have to, whenever I decide to pause you guys for a second, I will put some gloves on because I'm getting pitched up. Get this flitch off, we'll flip it on its side. Now, I don't know if you guys just noticed, but if technically I'm at my can size that math tells me I would get to. So I've already kind of blown my cant size. The cant is going to be smaller. There's a chance I can get it in the sideways dimension. I'm only really 8.5 inches wide in the middle right now. I'm really wide on the ends, but only 8.5 in the middle. So we're going to flip her on her side, get her squared up, get it cleaned up. We'll see how big a piece we end up with out of this. It's really an odd shape, to be honest with you. It's kind of a bell. It's fat on both ends and thin in the middle. See? That is what happens when your bill's really level. So I actually have to bungee cord this thing down here because if I spin the log like that, I actually could oh my God, what am I doing here? If I spun the log like, I just broke my bungee cord. If I spun the log like that, I actually could hit my band and break my band or bend my band or ding my band. So now it's bungeed so I can't go anywhere. Let's spin it up on its side. So far the band is cutting really good. See where we are for square. I have to clean out under my mill. So square right there, if it stayed there, it'd be good. See if we can start to get it dogged off there. Not all the way over. Gotta get the log more over. There we go. That's perfectly square. This log's such an odd shape. Still going to give us nice, long, good lumber. Such an odd shape, it almost doesn't make any sense to try to mess with it and get it to a certain height. As long as it's not way off, we're not going to cut a wedge like we did the other day. So I'm 15 to the bark there, 13 to the bark here. That's kind of telling me I want to come up on that far end if I want to maximize this. Probably much more here. Yeah, I'm 16 here, 15 to the bark here, and then it's way less down here. 15 misses the log here. So I think what I'm going to do is try to lift this end a couple inches. If I do that, I might steal myself back into reality here. Such a tough call. Yeah, it slopes off so bad on the other side, I don't even think it's worth it. I think we'll just come up to the top, make a skim cut, clean it up, and then work on it from there. I am going to have to put some more water to this, though. Okay, let's fire up. I'm going to come up around 15 and see what that does. Oh, that was a mistake. I don't want to do that. I have to change that bungee cord around. So I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm going to make a pass right there. I'm at just over 14 and a half. Yep. So I'm going to come down to just under 13 and a half. Make another pass. This is really a screwed up log. It really is. Because what I could do right now is I want to flip this side down. But I could, when I get it on its side, yeah, it's only a small piece of weight on that side though. It's not that bad an idea. I was going to say I got to set my width to some sort of standard dimension. Tripping over all kinds of stuff here. My width right now is 9 3/4. I kind of want to set it to 8. There's no good way to do it. Unless I try to do it in this dimension. So I could do that. So I can take at least another couple boards off this. That can be edged. So, and then flip it all the way over to get it to 8, and then flip it on its side and mill it out at 1/8. Yeah, I'm still all in the heartwood here, so I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take another board off this side. Then I'm gonna flip it all the way over, mill it to 8 inches. And where's my 8-inch scale on the side? Because I can make a mill line on the side too. So it's, let me drop down. I'm just checking where I would need to be sideways for that 8. So at 9, I would need to be at 10. And then the next one be 8 7/8. So I can mill it to 8 7/8 on the side. To set my height. That'll get rid of a little wane too. One board off the top. Just take it one step at a time here. On that pass, I was just less than 13.5. I should have been right there. Yep. So we're going to come down to just less than 12 3/8. Make a pass right there. That gives us another 1-inch board. A teeny little bit of wane on it. By like 9 3/4. Danny, you around? Oh, hi, bud. So what we should do now is we should flip it on its side, and we got to get it to 8 7/8 or 10. 10 does not work. That would be a waist cut. It's going to be a waist cut anyway, I think. 10, we can't get to 10. We're less than 10. We want to get it to 8 7/8. That's going to be our height. Then flip it over. Go it to 8 inches wide. Then we have to flip it again. So what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to take a skim cut first, because it's going to be a waste cut and there's a lot of wane, and then cut it at 8 7/8. That gives us our width to be on 1-inch scale. I think I need this other one. So let's see where we are. We should be about 9 3/4, right? Oh, it's 10 3/4. It's 9 3/4. Should be about right there. It's just a little high. So we're going to drop down to 8 7/8. That is on 1-inch scale. That's where we want to take our cut. That's going to give us a 7/8 board. Might be able to use this. Windy. Oh. So we want to make sure now that that is our height that we're milling the overall. So I want that to be my height. Now we got to get to our width. Hopefully you can use this one. Our width is going to be 8. Son of a bitch. I don't know how long you guys been down there. Hey, how long you been down there? Is that wind blew hard? Unless Danny just knocked you over. Okay, we're going to get ourselves to our 8-inch width now. And then just one more flip and we can mill it out. So this right now is at 8 7/8 this way. We need to get to 8 this way. There's going to be a teeny little bit of wane in the middle. Is no stopping that. So let's see where, let's get to 8, see if we can steal any boards out of it. So that's going to be 8. I'm going to go up to 9 1/8, make a mark there. Might be able to steal one board out of it. We're going to cut it right here. You know what? I can snake out. Forget it. We'll get it out. I did waste a couple of maybe 4-foot boards there, but here's what it is. Could have maybe got some couple of little 3-footers down here and drop down to 8, make a cut there, set a width. One more flip and we can mill it out. Let's get this chunk off. Get this board up on our sawhorses. And now we can flip it up and just mill it out. We'll be milling 8 inches wide. This is 8 here. Still getting that weird thin spot in the middle now. Huh. Could be the wane. Could be, doesn't seem like it. Let's flip this over. Let's see if I can shove it down just a little bit to get some more support out of it. Should be okay, I think. Yep. And we should be on scale this way. So we already set our scale. Get our stops dropped all the way down. And this should just be dropping on scale all the way down like 8 cuts. Okay. Let's cut it out. This one should be at 7 7/8. 7 3/4. And 6 5/8. should be a 5.5. This one should be a 4 3/8. This one should be a 3 1/4. Yeah, this got a 2 1/8. So drop this one dog down just a hair. Maybe this one just a hair, and then the last cut's at 1 inch. Saw it up, cleaned off. Last cut of the day. Then we'll do some calculating and figure out where we ended up. 1 inch. All right, so we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1x8s. 8 1x8s at 14. So those are 9.3. So that is 72 plus 2, 74. That's 74 board feet. Just get this thing bungeed here so it doesn't go anywhere. So I got 1x8. My 14 feet long is 9.3. We'll call them 15, so it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's like 80 plus 10, 20, 30. Oh, man. Wonder how long you guys are on the ground again. Son of a gun. Gosh darn it. Friggin' tripod. I'm going to have to watch it back. The whole thing might be a waste. So I got 80 board feet on the mill, and then kind of like 10, 20, 30, 40 board feet up here. So around 120 minus a little bit of wane. So we'll call it around 115 just for shites and giggles. Somewhere around 115 by the time those are edged, 110 to 115. So we ended up pretty much where we said we were gonna. We had that 112. We said we were gonna end up at 112. And we ended up pretty much right there. These boards up here are wider than those, but they do have some edging that needs to be done on them. A couple of them you're not going to get the full length because you got some real narrow spots over here. And like I said, you got 80 there if I do them at 15 feet. That's another basically 10, 20, that's 100, and then whatever's in there. So I think we ended up pretty close. The Doyle scale at 88, if I took it inside the bark at 14 feet, which is this top row of numbers here, and you went to 14 inches, said we were going to get 88. And we have like 80 there, just less than 80, just at 14 feet. But because it's 15 feet, we have 80 there. So that ended up pretty close too. And then this is just basically bonus material. So, we got about another 100. That's going to get us to 470. 470. Approximately 45 minutes to cut it. So that is $60. $60 log 6. We got 8 pieces, 1x8 by 15. $60, which is 45 minutes. And we're at 470-ish board feet total because that all has to be edged. So, band's still cutting good. I did see, just full disclosure, I believe, maybe you guys can see it, maybe you can't. Right here, it did, in this weird grain, it did do one little dip right here. It did it 2 cuts in a row, Other than that, all the cuts are really flat. Maybe we can get a look down the top, see if how the top looks down the edge. Yeah, there's one little curly cue there that's going to block us, but it cut pretty straight. There's no waves in the side. There doesn't appear to be any waves in the top. Still cutting pretty flat. So, you know, if we just say we're close to 500 board feet and it's still cutting. That's all I can say. So I'm going to call that a video. Find Danny here. Oh, he's under there. There's Danny. I'm going to pull these off. Actually, I'm going to leave them right on the mill for now. There's a possibility I might edge this stuff right now, but I have to edge and add it to the total so on Sunday he can take it all before I put the mill away. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you guys back on charge for Danny and me and the ongoing test on the roller guides and the Stelicut band and the Norwood HD36v2. It's going along good. This is about the sweet spot for this mill, just to be honest with you guys. If you're looking to slab, this isn't the mill for you. And I think in this kind of wood, it kind of shines. That 14 to 16 to 18, say 12 to 20 inch range, this mill really flies. It's really nice. And I would call it perfect for what I'm doing right here. And for now, this Pirate Solutions out.